Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for joining us today. I am Louisa Lee. 早安，你好，欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新奇、最有趣的新闻。Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan held talks with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad yesterday over the weekend massacre in Hula, which sparked outrage among the international leaders. Earlier, Annan called the bloodshed an appalling moment with profound consequences, while adding that his message of peace is for everyone with a gun. Syria 发生令全球震惊的屠村事件，联合国特使安南人正在 Syria 访问，希望 Syria 政府能采取重大行动，尽快和平解决目前的危机。
I urge the government to take bold steps to signal that it is serious in its intention to resolve this crisis peacefully. The Security Council has requested the United Nations to continue to investigate the attacks in Hula. Those responsible for these brutal crimes must be held to account.
A rebel leader has said that Annan's six-point peace plan is already dead following the brutality in the town of Hula last Friday, which claimed the lives of 108 civilians. Many of the victims were women and children. The activists are blaming the Syrian forces for using heavy artillery and tank shells on the residential area, with reports saying that many were executed at close range. And now to other news. The Pacific bluefin tuna that had been contaminated with radiation from Japan's nuclear disaster last year have swam 6,000 miles to the shores of California, marking the first time that a huge migrating fish has traveled this far, bringing traces of radioactive elements with them without metabolizing it. Although the levels of radioactive cesium in the 15 fish are found to be 10 times higher than those from previous years, researchers say that it's still within the legal limit. Thus, they are safe for humans to consume. 去年3.11大地震造成日本福岛核电厂辐射外泄，现在传出已经有少量辐射出现在美国加州外海的黑尾鱼体内。日本政府也表示会继续观察，不过尾鱼体内的辐射剂量很低，暂时不会危害健康。
Low levels of nuclear radiation from the tsunami-damaged Fukushima power plant have turned up in bluefin tuna off the California coast. Researchers believe the young fishes left Japanese water about a month after the accident. The Japanese government said it is looking into international monitoring of radioactive fish products, but more information is needed.
We haven't really got hold of the research paper on this migrant tuna fish off the southern coast of California yet. We expect that we will have to deal with the issue of monitoring international fish product supplies, but we need to gather more information before looking at how to deal with this issue.
Small amount of cesium-137 and cesium-134 were detected in 15 tuna caught near San Diego in August last year. The amount is not thought to be damaging to people if consumed. Most of the radiation was released over a few days in April 2011. Unlike some other compounds, radioactive cesium does not quickly sink to the sea bottom, but remains dispersed in the water.
And here's an adorable story to bring some smiles to your face. She's not just any canine. Xiaosai is by far the one with the greatest determination of all. The stray dog followed a group of bikers while they were on a 1,000-mile trek across China. She never gave up, averaging 37 miles per day while managing to climb 12 mountains. And hear this, only 3 out of the 300 cyclists and Xiaosai completed the trip that lasted for almost 25 days. 最近大陆有一只很有名的流浪狗小萨，就是陪着自行车队一路从四川跑到拉萨，24天狂奔1600公尺，也超过4000公尺的高山地区奔驰。它也成为网友口中的励志狗。现在在旅途结束了，小萨也被收养了。
A stray dog in China has recently become a national sensation as it just finished an almost 2,000-kilometer trip with a group of bikers. The dog, nicknamed Xiaosa, joined a group of long-distance cyclists across the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau in a 3-week journey. Xiaosa started to follow the bikers on May 4th after one of them, Xiaoyong, a 22-year-old Chinese college student from Wuhan in central Hubei province, gave it some food. It ran with a team for 24 days, covering 1,833 kilometers and climbing over 10 mountains at an altitude of over 4,000 meters.
一开始没有考虑到要收留它，只是说跟着我们走一段。但是没想到它的毅力很坚强，一直跟我们跟到礼堂，所以礼堂的坝上有一个比较大的下坡，我们就考虑到给它做一个笼子。
He added that the little white dog showed incredible determination to run up to 60 kilometers a day. Now, with the journey coming to an end, Xiaoyong said he would take Xiaosa, which is no longer a stray dog now, back home with him.
小萨的毅力使我们很感动，我们也坚持下来，跟他一起到了布达拉宫，现在很激动，很感动。目前是打算尽我所能把小萨给带回去，因为他已经相当于认我做主人了吧。
Another cyclist also said that the dog boosted their morale during the trip.
条狗是很关键的。 给我们带来很多快乐，它可以在我们最困难的时候，比方说的话，有的人掉队了，它会从山顶跑到山下来，叫这个人。
Since dogs are not allowed on trains in China, Xiaoyong plans to pay for his new friend's trip back to Wuhan by air, while he travels by train separately.
And now to movie news. The plot may seem odd or hard to relate to at first, but the combination of Ewan McGregor and Emily Blunt may change your mind about seeing the film, which is in fact a whimsical romantic comedy that's about turning a desert in Yemen into a paradise for fishermen. 在沙漠地区也能引进鲑鱼饲养吗？接下来为你介绍这部爱情喜剧片，看男女主角从这个看起来似乎不可能达成的任务，开启人生的新的旅程。
Dear Dr. Jones, I act on behalf of a client who has indicated a desire to introduce the sport of salmon fishing into the Yemen.
As a fisheries specialist, this is plainly ridiculous. There's just no way that salmon can survive in those sort of environments. I thank you for your time, Mrs. Chetwood Talbot. I'll see myself out. Goodbye.
Based on the novel of the same name, salmon fishing in the Yemen tells the most absurd idea of introducing salmon fishing to the desert country of Yemen. When Alfred, played by Ewan McGregor, had to work with Harriet, played by Emily Blunt, to fulfill this seemingly impossible task, he realized that he has fallen in love with Harriet as he gradually comes to believe that the project could be possible. The romantic comedy is to be released in Taiwan this Friday.
10,000 salmon, get them to the Yemen alive, don't ask me how, allowing the salmon to migrate upstream, of course until the dry season, when they will all die.
It's very impressive, Dr. Jones.
Look, I just made it all up.
No, the drawing. Real talent, if I might say so.
Our sheikh is very passionate about his salmon.
He is different. He's a visionary man.
It sounded reasonable for him that he brings his passion home. I have a dream that one day, when war is in the air, then someone will say, "Gentlemen, let us arise and go fishing."
This guy.
Something shifts in all of them, so everyone has a journey.
We seek what we have passion for.
Ingredients for the film are really rich.
To have faith and hope in the most ludicrous ideas, I think that's really lovely.
I was wondering if I was genetically programmed to dull pedestrian life.
Do you think that you are?
No.
And that's it for this edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay with CTS for the latest weather update and for more top stories.